Alright guys, I'm back and I got a friend outside waiting for me. Um, so where I'm at right now, school just got out because it's flooding everywhere and you can't get anywhere unless you have a boat. Not really, but the rain is pretty bad, all the snow's melting, so we can't really do much. So they let us go early from school, and my daughter is actually up with her grandparents right now. We can't really go get her because we can't get anywhere, so I figured my wife's sleeping and I'm gonna try to do a little bit of an episode. I did do some work that I'm going to show you guys in a second. Hoping I can get around this guy without him really doing much. I don't want to risk ruining my crops because one of my goals today is to build a farm for my wheat and my melons a little bit more efficient. I did do some work on the house. I need to get some more wood. But I did do some stuff off camera just so you guys can tell. I cleared out over here. I wanted to make this my farm area for my wheat and all that. And I'm gonna do it in my house, and my goal is to venture that way because I don't think we've really done that. We did by boat a little bit, but we didn't get too far. But I've gone that way, found a village, didn't have a furnace, and I think we've gone one of these ways and found a village and it did not have a furnace. Actually, it was that way. So I'm hoping we'll find something that way. But we got my pigs, got my sheep. I don't think I have my wheat on me, so my goal is to build a farm over here, and I'm going to get the supplies ready for that, and I'll cut to that. And while I build the farm, I'm going to do some more of my random questions and let you guys know a little bit more about me. So, see you then. I'm back. We're going to get some farms going. I got some seeds, some potatoes, some carrots, and my melons ready to go. I'm going to square this off just a little bit, and I'll have some random questions just to answer, even though you guys didn't ask, and just kind of let you know a little bit more about myself. So I'm going to start by rounding this off. So the first question that I have right now is, if I could choose to live in any era, when would I choose to live? Now, I am a big fantasy person. I do like some forms of Dungeons and Dragons, even though I've never played it. I enjoy listening to podcasts that are based around it, and I love watching it. But I also like sci-fi and just kind of weird things with technology. But honestly, my favorite time was when I was a kid, when Pokemon was a big thing, and Saturday morning cartoons actually existed. It was really nice to actually kind of have things like that to look forward to. And nowadays, I don't have Saturday morning cartoons. I don't get to sit in front of the TV with a bowl of cereal and watch Digimon or something like that. Like, there's still tons of shows that I can still watch, but it's nothing like it used to be. And it's a little sad because I feel like that was an era. That was a big time. I'm going to put melons right here. So if I could choose to live in any time specifically, I think I would like to live in the 90s. Like, if 90s could have just stuck around for the rest of my life. My shovel. That would have been great. So it's going to be a little slower with just my hands. But I really enjoyed the 90s, and I felt like gas was cheaper, which a lot of people would probably think, well, because we probably had oil back then or something like that. I don't really follow that. So it's don't at me on stuff like that. But I really enjoyed the 90s, so I really think that would be, where I would want to live. My next question is, what do you do for fun? Now, I've told you guys before, I play guitar. I play in a band. We're actually called OddManMc. You can find us on Twitter, which we don't do a whole lot with Twitter, and we're also on Facebook. Usually you can type in The Real Oddman, and you'll find us. Our logo is a picture of a tree. I'm really proud of what we do. I'm in a group with a bunch of my friends from college, and we play pop punk. We play like the old style Blink-182 with some new kind of stuff thrown in. We haven't done a whole lot with our music. We've been in a band for about 4 years. We've been working on stuff here and there, but we still do gigs from time to time. And we're actually having a gig this weekend. I'm really excited for. We're opening for a band called Strawberry Girl. So if you know Strawberry Girl, and you want to be at that show, look us up. But for fun, I play guitar. I do a lot of that. I also play video games. One of my favorite video games, I can't remember if I said this before, but it was Kingdom Hearts. The third installment just came out a couple months ago, and I actually just beat the main storyline. So if you want to discuss Kingdom Hearts at all, go ahead and send me a message or tweet at me on my Twitter account, OddManMc1. I don't know what happened to OddManMc because I believe I'm the only one. And we can talk about Kingdom Hearts. We can also talk about guitar. Let's see. I like to read. Reading's a lot of fun. I just discovered a couple months ago lit RPG novels, or light RPG novels, I think is what they're called. And I got into those because I was looking for something to fill this void that was left after I finished the anime Death March to a Parallel World Rhapsody. It's a very mouthful of a title. Doesn't have greatest reviews on the internet, but I really like it. Just the RPG style of it. I love RPGs. One of my favorite plugins for Minecraft actually is MCMMO, because I feel like it adds more to the game. It doesn't take anything away. It doesn't subtract. Like, you don't even have to pay attention to it. It just kind of does its own thing. Let's see. Melons, carrots, potatoes, and probably 2 for wheat. Or should I just do 2 for potatoes, 2 carrots? I got the room. I want to go down. I did go down there, actually, and there's nothing. So, actually, I probably will fill this in at some point or turn it into something else. So 2 carrots. We'll do 2 potatoes. Yeah, but I like to read. Reading's a lot of fun. I don't know. I like to say I'm a jack of all trades. I'm a master of none. I don't put my time and effort into one single thing. I like to think I'm pretty good at guitar. And my main instrument for school was trombone, and I'm decent at trombone. I can definitely get my way through, but I definitely wouldn't say that I'm an expert, because there's still things that I'm not very good at. And I like to cook. Cooking is a huge thing for me within the last, like, I think 7 years. I found out that I like cooking in college. Before I really started talking to my wife, I was seeing a girl for a few years, and she had gone to a culinary school where we got to hang out and stuff, and she taught me some things, which I really liked, because before it was basically freezer meals or crockpot meals or gluten-free meals, which is what my mom made. Because I ate gluten-free, I think, for like 2 years in high school, and that was very fun, because if you've ever had gluten-free pancakes, they are not great at all, because I feel like the syrup tastes like cough medicine. It's not good at all. Alright. The next question, I know I'm kind of hitting some blank space there. I got only two hands. How would your friends describe you? I think my friends would describe me as I have a temper. They would definitely say that I probably get angry at some small things. Sorry, I think I'm bumping my cable there. Yep, I think I fixed it. It's right by my left hand, which is on my keyboard. I think that looks better. I think they would definitely say that I have a temper, but I think they would also tell me that say that I'm a good guy. I like to think that I'm reliable, and I think my friends would definitely say that. I did craft a bucket with some iron that I had that was already smelted, since I don't have a furnace yet. I hope I can find one soon. But I definitely think they would describe me as that, like a good guy. Because that was something that was always very important to me, was my friends, and I always tried to help them out whenever they needed it, and I like to think that my friends would do the same for me, just because we've been through a lot. No, so I think I have to do a third one. I'm always confused at how infinite water sources work sometimes. I always do the 4-box one, but it doesn't always work for me. And what kind of armor? I got 2 of those. But yeah, I think that's how they would describe me. I like to think that I'm a decent person. I know I can get a temper sometimes, so I can be a jerk. All right. Next one is, where is your favorite place to shop? Again, that's a big question, because I like to shop at a lot of places. We shop at Walmart for a lot of our main things, and for groceries, I love shopping at Hy-Vee. I don't know how universal Hy-Vee is, but I enjoy shopping at Hy-Vee for groceries, because I feel like they just have a lot of good selections when it comes to food and produce and just stuff like that. The prices aren't always the greatest, but usually the same product you can find at Walmart for a couple bucks cheaper, even a couple cents. And you might not think a couple cents makes a big difference, but it can in the long run if you do the budgeting. Whoa. Okay. For myself, it depends on what I'm talking about. If I'm talking about music, I love shopping at Guitar Center, because they're not always the greatest for prices again, but they tend to be all right. Because sometimes you'll just get a really good deal, and oops, and because my drummer for my band, he actually picked up a 5-string jazz bass, Squire, that he swears by because he says it's a really good bass, and he got it for I think 175, and normally they're I think 400 brand new, and used right now I can only find them for about 275. I think the cheapest I found it was 250. And I really wouldn't mind a bass like that. That would be kind of nice. Dang it. So Guitar Center is one of those places. For video games, it's kind of wherever. I do shop at GameStop a lot, just because I have a membership there from when I got my PlayStation 4. So I'll pre-order through them and stuff, but again, like, I don't trade stuff in. I'd rather sell it to somebody else who wants it because I can get a better price for it than I can at GameStop. They tend to gyp their customers a little bit, I feel, because you spend all that money and time, and the games are still in good condition, and somebody's going to want them most of the time, unless it's like a PSP game, which no one really has a PSP anymore. But the GameStop I go to, the employees are super nice, and they're always willing to answer any questions that I have. So I don't really have many complaints about it. I just don't trade games in that often. I'd rather trade them to, or sell them to people who actually would get some use out of them and get a fair price. I feel like if I bought a $50 game and then 2 months later I want to trade it back, I'm only going to get a few bucks. I feel like I'm not going to get a lot. Let's see, where else? Barnes & Noble. Huge Barnes & Noble fan. I read a lot of comics in my spare time, and I want to get the DC Universe app, but just right now can't justify purchasing it. I do want to get the free trial when all of Titans is uploaded and all of Young Justice is finished, so I can go watch that. I had Marvel Unlimited for a couple years, and I loved it, and I still enjoy it, but it got to be a point with money-wise where I just couldn't justify having it all the time. Alright, so I got those planted. So let's do melons and carrots, potatoes, and I think this mostly will be wheat. It's okay that it bleeds over to that a little bit. Alright. Ooh, this is a serious question. The next one. Are you scared of dying? That's an interesting question to pop up. That's something that I'm kind of working through. My grandfather just passed away in November, and ever since I've kind of been struggling a little bit with how I'm handling that. I would say yes, I am, because it's the big unknown. You don't really know what's going to happen, and because of that, that's why I'm scared. I would say I don't want to dwell too much on that question, because I could probably talk about it for a while, and I've talked to many people about it, including my friends. But I'd say, am I? Yes, I think most people are, because you don't really know what's going to happen. All right. If you could give one piece of advice to the whole world, what would it be? One piece of advice to the whole world. I would say be kind. I mean, I've had plenty of instances in my life where I could just be a complete jerk. Like, sometimes you have a situation where you know something about someone, and then they just push you the wrong way, and you could say that one thing that pushes them over the edge that really just ruins their day. And it's not always good to say that. Like, sometimes you just need to be the better person to walk away, or be kind to them in spite of that, because sometimes people just have bad days. Some people are going through something, and I don't want to be a hypocrite, because I have my days where I'm a complete jerk to somebody just because I have a poor attitude that day, and it's not justified sometimes. Other times I would like to say that my frustration with some certain people get justified, because sorry, that was probably really loud. I like to think that sometimes it is justified when someone is a jerk, because if I'm being a jerk to somebody and they don't deserve it, like if I'm taking my frustrations out on somebody, I would expect them to be a jerk back to me, because after I have a time to cool down, I was like, yeah, I was being a jerk and I deserved what came back to me. But other times where people are just trying to push your buttons and just kind of going way too far. I thought I could sleep. Is that tricking me? Okay, I don't know. But that would be my advice to the world: is just be kind, because you never know what someone's going through. And I think it's kind of a cliche, but cliches are also there for a reason. Here we go. Would you rather be poor or ugly? I don't think I'm that good looking anyway. When I student taught, I was teaching at a decent sized school, and I got to work with their band and jazz band and choir and elementary and all that. It was a great time. I loved my student teaching, and I remember their lead percussionist. She was the girlfriend of the bass player for the jazz band there. Band, the bass player I got along with great, and I didn't realize that it was almost dead. And I remember at the last concert, she had made a comment to the bass player, saying that my wife was out of my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, was out of my league, and he told me that, and I just kind of laughed and said, "Well, you know what? You're right," because I didn't know why she was with me. I mean, I'm not the best person in the world, but I'm all right, and I like to think that I treat her well. But I don't think I'm that great looking anyway, so I would probably rather be ugly, because if someone's gonna accept me for who I am anyway, then be poor, because it stinks being poor, because in this world money kind of rules everything. And dang it, I keep bumping that cable, I'm sorry. Money kind of rules everything, and it stinks, but it's kind of just where we're at. And since we're not trading cows and chickens for goods anymore. Well, maybe some people are, but I mean, over here in America, we're not. Like, you have to buy things, and like my medication that I have to take, I can't just go take it. I have to actually purchase it. Or food, I have to purchase it. I mean, I can grow my own stuff, but that also just takes time and stuff that I don't really have right now. So to survive, I'm sorry. Better? Okay, if I can, I'm going to try to cut that out of the feed. If I can, I'll cut the video and just put a technical difficulty thing in. But yeah, you have to purchase things in order to even survive. Like, you have to have heat, you need to pay your bill. To have running water, you need to pay your bill. To have a car, you need to buy a car, you need to pay for car insurance. Like, you need money to do everything. Like, if that wasn't the case and everything was just like, oh, here you go live life, I mean, that would be great, but it's not the case. And it stinks that everything costs something to a point, because wouldn't it be great if we could just all do what we need and do what we want and just live? Yeah, it would be great. But I would say I'd rather be ugly, because someone's gonna accept me for who I am, and my wife already has, which she's a saint for that anyway. All right. What are some things that you shouldn't say at a funeral? Getting back to that topic really fast. First thing that pops in my mind is always that joke where at weddings, older people will usually poke at the younger people and say, "Hey, you're next, getting married." And then the same thing happens at funerals for older people, where the younger people say, "Hey, you're next." That's something you definitely shouldn't say, I would say. Yeah, moving forward. Have you ever peed in the shower? Little close to personal there. My answer is, hasn't everybody? And what are your hobbies? You guys know my hobbies. I just said what I like to do for fun. If I found $100 on the ground, what would you do with it? Well, it's $100, and I feel like anything over 20, and this is a rule I think I picked up from my mom, anything over 20, you should try to find the owner, because $100 is quite a bit of money to a certain point. It could pay a bill, it could be a car insurance payment, it could be somebody's money, the only money they have to feed their children. $100 is a pretty big deal. I mean, $20 is a pretty big deal at some cases, but I would try to find the original owner, and if I can't find the original owner, then then it's, I guess, finders keepers to that point. But I would say try to find some more ink, the original owner. I remember it was one time in high school. My mom has been walking down the street. She used to be a lunch lady at my school, and my school was originally just up the road from my house, so she would just walk because it was only a couple blocks. And she stopped outside my teacher's house. My history teacher lived about 2 doors down from me, and she found a money clip that had she thought was like $6. And then she took it home and she opened it and realized, oh, there's like $250 here. So she went back to my teacher's house and said, hey, is this yours? And I don't think he said it was his. I think he said, no, it's not mine. And I think she tried some of the other neighbors and no one claimed it. So I think she had taken it to the police in case someone had lost it. It never came back. So yeah, never saw it again. So got my farms planted. I need some more, I think, was this carrots? Yeah, I need more carrots, but they'll grow and we'll replant them and we should be good to go. I'm glad I finally get a bucket, so I feel accomplished. So we got some food, unless we can't find a furnace. So next, I'm going to venture that way and see what we can find, and if I find something, I'll let you guys know. Alright, see you then. Alright guys, we did it. We found something, and it looks promising. I'm really hoping this is the one we've been waiting for. I don't have my hopes high, but this is the 3rd village we found. If it's not here, then I don't know what I'm going to do. Because I need a furnace. I can't keep going without it. Oops, sorry, that is a flood warning that is being sent to my phone from my area. I already know it's flooding because I got out of work early for the flood. So, alright. Ooh. It's got a blacksmith. Yes. Yes, it's got a blacksmith. That is awesome. That is great. Oh, yes. Who are you? Feather falling. That's not bad. It's got 2 furnaces. They're empty, but I will take them. That is awesome. Yes. 2 furnaces. Oh, that's awesome. Alright, and I know there's a chest in here, too. Ooh. Hello, Mr. Cleric. Iron swords. That's even better. Well, not even better, but it's great. And then some bread. Sweet. Hello. You're my new best friend. And I think I talked about last time, the last village I found, I can trade with these guys, right? The toolsmiths and get some decent stuff. Like, that's actually not bad. I could actually trade for it if I had my emeralds. So I might have to just do that in a future episode where I just do some trading with some villagers. I don't have the means to get them to my base right now. I'm hoping I do one day. But, overall, that's not too bad. And I'm going to sleep really quick so I don't kill these guys. And I want to check out the rest of the village. I think it looks pretty small to me. Come on, it's dark. Let me sleep. Let me sleep. There we go. It looks pretty small, and I'm glad it just had a blacksmith, because that saves me a giant headache, because I was really worried I was never going to find one. I'm wondering if any of these guys would have, that's the same guy, any of these guys would have, same guy, mending, like the librarians, which would be really nice, and to get that on just like even an iron an iron pickaxe or even an iron sword would be a lifesaver right now. But I do have some diamonds. These carrots. Yeah, mending would be great. And like I've never played this kind of way where I could have mending. The highest I've ever really played on a server was 1.8. So they kind of held back a lot of the main features that they had. Yeah, this looks like just a very tiny village. And these guys are just worthless. They're only good for like breeding, I think. Leather worker. armor. Nice. That's even better. Then cool. I think that's it. So, yeah, we finally did it, guys. We finally found a blacksmith, and it had 2 furnaces. I thought they had only had 1. So that makes my day even better. I'm super excited about that. So, I don't know. I might make a second base out here just because it's close to these guys. I can do that at the other villages too. I don't know yet. But I think I'm going to end it here just because I don't want to push my luck and accidentally die. So I'm going to carefully make my way back through the jungle and get back to my base. And I'll see you guys in episode 6. All right? Remember, guys, keep calm, be odd. Peace.